In much of the same way that in the beginning I was introduced to VOLTURIAN through the collaborative model, we're replicating the experience here with VOLTURIAN being the known artist. You might remember when I first was introduced to them and when I first said I intended to cover VOLTURIAN in regards to sampling their music, it was because their lead vocalist, Federica Lana, had done a collaboration of a long favorite of mine, at least in the last couple of months, Mortimia. For those of you who don't know his name, one-man gothic symphonic metal artist from Norway. Very talented. I would consult his work if you haven't done so, including his Federica Lana collaboration. But it was through that piece that I learned the name VOLTURIAN, and I considered, okay, I'm always in the mood for fresh introductions, especially as it consists of European metal talent, the favorite area of the world in choice in regard to my taste as a metalhead. And you see there how that collaborative model worked for me in regard to getting a fresh introduction. We're doing the same here, though, with the principal group that I recognize being VOLTURIAN, and gauging the talents today of Giada, Jade, Etro, who maybe some of you know her by name. She's a metal artist, as my understanding. It's presently the lead, I don't know if she's the lead vocal, yeah, she is the lead vocalist for As You Leave, and she's also one of the vocalists for Frozen Crown. I saw that name and attribution of the title of this video. Seems like, you know, a good introduction. She is an Italian artist, much like Federica Lana. She's apparently also a dentist. That's interesting. You know, sometimes you have metal artists that maybe combine, you know, occupations. I have a couple names in America that might come to mind, but that's kind of funny. Like a curveball you didn't expect. She's a dentist, too. All right, so at the same time that you're watching her, think about the quality of your teeth. I'm kidding. I love the collaborative model in regard to, again, how I've consulted European talent. And it's been, in particular, what I've utilized Mortimia for. He's been key in this, in particular because of the collaborative model he's utilized on both the Pandemic Pandemonium sessions, his earlier album, and the presently unveiling itself, the COVID Aftermath sessions. And he's featured many artists, of which, again, I've utilized those names to gauge different groups. Let's say, for example, Melissa Bonney of Ad Infinitum, or Linda Tony Gran of presently Anima Vale, formerly Fall of a Cipher. That's, again, how I discovered many of the artists I featured on this channel in regards to first impressions. And now we're doing the model, though, with VOLTURIAN being at the front of the center. I'm happy with that. Again, I love being able to incorporate first introductions, not only for perhaps you and myself, that we can enjoy a first impression listen together of different European talents to get a sample for what's out there, especially since I'm sure maybe some of you have never really stepped that far into the European landscape, or perhaps some of you are longtime VOLTURIAN fans. I'm sure there's a wide variety of perspectives that are coming into this video. So I'd love to hear, perhaps if you so wish to disclose your angle, where you come from down below in regards to your VOLTURIAN familiarity. But I love the experience of being able to incorporate, if I can, first introductions. But at the same token as well, I love covering established talents that are familiar to me, but I love being able to get to know new artists through covering music, which again has always been an aspiration of mine over many years. In fact, since I founded this channel, and over the last year and into 2023, this has been an evolving vision that I'm really happy to see grow to such an extent. It's what I've wanted for a long time. And I'm honored to bring a group like VOLTURIAN in, who really is, like I said, quite a talent. And that's in large part as well to Federica Lana's talents as a vocalist from Italy. She really is impressive. But let's, get an introduction as well to Giada, Jade, Etro, the metal dentist. I'm going to go ahead and cue up the video for In a Heartbeat. There's a song, again, or video to accompany it, so we'll get a visualizer to watch as well. And if you're somebody who's not consulted my music reactions in the past, if you don't, or you're not familiar with my formatting, I like to accommodate listener tastes however I can. So if you're somebody that likes to read along with the message of the piece and the narrative, and I'll try to follow along as well, I have the lyrics pulled up, and I will feature them as part of the video in the bottom of the screen. I'll track along as we proceed forward with the song in focus. Okay, In a Heartbeat. Here we go. Let's try it out. Much like many of the other songs on Crimson, it has the electronic opener. Grows momentum. Oh, I love it. As we go forward, the track's getting harder and harder. I love it. Great riffs, beautiful tapestry, great pacing, very even, aggressive. I like the pacing of her voice. Bit of a pop energy in terms of style, I like it. Even though, again, it's banking on that metal edge with the aggression. Wow. Beautiful. I'll have to give Frozen Crown and As You Leave a consideration in terms of coverage. I thought Federica Lana's vocals were dynamic. Let's listen to this girl too. Good blending between the two of them. I hear the overlap. The riff structure here is great. You see why I love first impressions? You never know sometimes who you're going to stumble upon. Some of my longtime favorites I come across because of that model. Beautiful release in terms of the passion. Like again, I see two artists that really care about their expression. It's just beautiful. You sense that in the energy of the piece. And I honestly have to say, like I said, I've never heard a dentist with such a vocal range. I still kind of funny, but hey, that's great. They do a lot of these instrumental breaks in terms of their songs, but I think it helps in terms of the pacing. It's a nice break. And it always tracks well. Okay. There's that wind up again. I almost thought the song ended for them, like, that's quite an abrupt end after the instrumental. There's this incline coming. Ah, I love it. I love the way that I've utilized collaborations. Again, you get to explore new talent across the board. And Giada, Jade, Etro. I will keep that name in mind. That was quite exquisite in terms of voice. Like, you thought Federica Lana was talented, right? And both of them are Italian singers. I'd really be interested to learn exactly where she got her training, because she sounds beautiful in terms of the rich quality of her voice. I've not heard really any like it, and that's been the case of many lead female vocalists within the European scene, to many different groups I've consulted. I've been very impressed with the unique styling. Federica Lana, again, included that first introduction with Mortimia, and I always credit him for that in regard to providing the door for me to access VOLTURIAN, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have known about them, or maybe I would have found them at a later date. It helped quicken the pace, if that's true, but it's been a fabulous introduction in terms of getting to know different groups, and I'm sure I'll have the same respect whenever I get a chance to check out Ashes You Leave and Frozen Crowned. I will keep that in mind. I'm always game in terms of learning new names. And many of you have provided plenty of recommendations in regard to your responses in my coverage. There have been many mentions in terms of artists that I should consult, and I have taken a lot of them in note. True, it takes a lot of time for me to get around to covering many different tracks, but and artists, because I've got so much work I want to feature. But I have them on my mind. So maybe if there's a group I haven't happened upon yet and you've recommended it in the past, or maybe you've recommended it presently or thinking of recommending it, I trust that I have those in my notes somewhere. And I'm sorting through maybe an eventual point where I don't have as much work as I have stacked right now in terms of talent that I want to look at first. Hopefully I'll be able to work them in at some point. And VOLTURIAN, again, is the artist of focus, and maybe Ashes You Leave and Frozen Crown will come up at some of her point. I thought that was quite exquisite. Again, like I've said, it's a very specific vocal set and style. I just haven't come across anything like it yet. It's a very dynamic pitch, and maybe that's part of her accent coming through. It was just beautiful. Rich pronouncement. Loved it. And again, it's a very consistent structure. I like the electronic openings that here I go again, mixing up European talents. This is a big mistake that I oftentimes embark on. So far of what I've heard in Volturian's work, there is that electronic opening, there's the instrumental breaks. So there's a pattern that I see in terms of their music, but I always like the structure. It's very easy to access their music, especially for somebody that's into rock and metal. It's a very enjoyable listen. And again, among different groups in the metal scene today, you know, I've said before, in terms of electronic music, I'm very selective in terms of when I think it works and when it doesn't. It does with, you know, more with Volturian. I think even that the emphasis of the electronic instrument portion of a song is creatively woven in again to the bass song, and as long as the piece has that structured foundational melody, it's usually enticing to me, and that it depends on perhaps how well it's utilized. And with Volturian, it's been quite attractive. In a Heartbeat, it's a great song to listen to. It's very entertaining. It's a strong piece of my metal library, not only, but Volturian's as well. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are down below, if this is indeed a first impression for you, as I'm assuming for many of you it will be, or if you're a longtime Volturian fan. What were your considerations on the track? And thus far off of Crimson, I have one piece I have left to cover off of it before I get to The Dragon, of which I have 2 tracks currently lined up. I'd love to hear perhaps which track in particular you find to be the most appealing for you, and which ones perhaps, when I do listen to the album in full, which ones do you recommend? Is it one I've covered, or is it one I haven't yet? Which is the one you gravitate to? And if this is a first impression, does this piece incline you to look further into their music? And perhaps Giada, Jade, Etro's groups as well. Let me know down below if you so wish to disclose your perspective and opinion on the piece. I think, like I said, it's quite good. Beautiful, beautiful sound to the piece. Definite European luster. I sense that in the energy. But with Volturian, it's been an absolute treat thus far in terms of getting to know them as a group, and I've had a great time exposing myself. And In a Heartbeat, it's no exception. It's a great electronically emphasized piece with that rock basis and 2 very talented Italian vocalists, not just Federica Lana, but Giada, Jade, Etro. Quite a presence with her. I'm very impressed with both of their talents. And they work well together in terms of collaboration. There's a good overlap. They fit well. Very well, in fact. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.